25 centuries ago, in a time of chaos and conflict, one man emerged whose ideas would shape the lives of billions. His name was Confucius, and his philosophy would become the foundation of Eastern civilization. Today, we explore the life and teachings of history's most influential thinker.
Confucius was born in 551 BCE, an era of constant warfare between rival states. The traditional social order was crumbling, warlords clashed, families were torn apart, and moral values seemed forgotten. Confucius, known as Confucius, was born into a family of minor nobility that had fallen on hard times. His father died when he was young, leaving him in poverty. But his mother ensured he received an education, something rare for children of his social status.
As a young man, Confucius studied ancient texts and traditions obsessively. He became deeply convinced that society's problems stemmed from broken relationships and a lack of virtue in leaders. He believed that if people understood their roles and duties and practiced ritual and respect, harmony would naturally follow. At age 30, he began his career as a teacher. Unlike other educators of his time, Confucius was available to anyone willing to learn, rich or poor, noble or common. He taught through conversation, asking questions that made his students think deeply about morality and human nature. Confucius believed society functioned through 5 key relationships. Each involved mutual obligations. First, ruler and subject. The ruler must be virtuous and caring. The subject must be loyal and respectful. Second, father and son. The father must be loving. The son must be obedient and filial. Third, husband and wife. The husband leads. The wife supports. Both must fulfill their roles with integrity. Fourth, elder and younger. Elders guide with wisdom. The young show deference and learn. Fifth, friend and friend. This relationship stands alone as one of equals, based on mutual trust and honesty. Each relationship was a web of duties that, when fulfilled, created social harmony. 2 concepts were central to Confucian thought: Li and Ren. Li refers to ritual, propriety, and proper conduct. It's not just following rules, it's understanding the deeper purpose behind them. When you bow with sincerity, when you perform a ceremony with genuine respect, you are practicing Li. Through these rituals, people internalize virtue. Ren, often translated as humaneness or benevolence, is the highest virtue. It means developing compassion, empathy, and genuine concern for others. Confucius believed that if you cultivated Ren, true human goodness, all other virtues would follow naturally. Together, Li and Ren create a framework for personal and social development. They transform people from within. Despite his growing influence as a teacher, Confucius never held significant political power. For 13 years, he traveled across China, seeking a ruler who would implement his ideals. He wanted to prove that a state governed by virtue and moral leadership would flourish. He met many rulers and nobles, but none fully embraced his philosophy. Some saw him as a threat to their authority. Others simply didn't understand. Yet Confucius never became bitter. he continued teaching, believing that truth would eventually prevail. He returned home in his later years and devoted himself entirely to education and refining his teachings. Confucius died in 479 BCE, having never achieved the political position he hoped for. Yet his death marked the beginning of his true influence. His students compiled his teachings into the Analects, preserving his words for future generations. Over the centuries, Confucianism became the dominant philosophy across China, Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. It shaped education systems that valued self-improvement and moral development, government structures that emphasized selecting officials based on merit and virtue, family values that emphasized respect, filial piety, and social harmony, social etiquette that still influences billions of people today. His ideas influenced everything, from the civil service exams in ancient China to the way families function in modern East Asia. In our modern world of division and conflict, Confucius's message remains surprisingly relevant. He taught that true strength comes not from power or wealth, but from virtue and character. That society improves when people understand their responsibilities to one another. That education and self-cultivation are lifelong pursuits. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. In a world that often feels chaotic, Confucius reminds us harmony comes from within, spreads through our relationships, and ultimately transforms society. His legacy isn't just historical, it's a guide for living with purpose, respect, and integrity. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories of history's greatest thinkers.